Welcome to Soccer Gaming and welcome to the Team Affinity Season 4 released today. We finally get to see all of the 99s being released, and there's some pretty good ones in here, and we'll kind of go over those. But I want to jump into it and just show you kind of what you need to do along the way, what you're going to kind of get from each Team Affinity, and kind of how to do it the fastest way possible. So if you like to watch that, stick around. So my suggestion for this, just starting out, is go after who you want or who you need to be able to fill up some things. Like if you're looking for that Kershaw program, if you're wanting to get the Kershaw collection done here in the Legends and Flashbacks, go here, see which ones you need. If you need some signature series, award series, anything like that. If you got the players you want, or you got the team that you want, or whatever, go here, look at what you need, and then kind of go from there and select them. You can get all 30 of them, so it's not like you can't have all of them. You just might have to kind of pick and choose who you want first, who you want to wait for, and all that good stuff. But to get it started, to find out where we're going to go, you go into programs, go over to the Team Affinity, and here is the Season 4 Team Affinity. As the other ones, you know, if you do anything in Team 4, it will go back. So if you don't have everything done in Season 3 or anything, Season 4 will help you complete Season 3. So let's just jump into it. We're just going to look at the AL East. We'll kind of go through the cards and everything and just kind of see what you get along the way. Again, you get this in every single division. So all 6 divisions will have separate cards, have separate unlockables, all that good stuff. So let's jump into the AL East and see how the Team Affinity works. So in Team Affinity, you want to get Team Affinity points. We want to go all the way up here to 150 to unlock all of the players in this division, and we'll take a look at the players here in a second and kind of go from there. To get those Team Affinity points, missions are going to be something that you want to try to knock out, moments you want to try to knock out, all that stuff. So let's just look at the missions and kind of explain them a little bit as well. In the missions, each of these again are different, so make sure you go in and look at what they are, but most of them are pretty similar. For repeatable plate appearances, if you have a player that is either is in the division that you're in, so we're in the AL East right now, so the Orioles, Red Sox, Yankees, Rays, and Blue Jays, if you have any of those players and they come up to bat, boom, this will be a plate appearance, and you will be able to unlock it up to 100. You'll get 10 Team Affinity points, which will go towards your total in the top left. And then those Team Affinity points can be repeated over and over again. Just look through here and make sure you read where to play, because some of them, like this one, you can only do in ranked seasons, battle royale, or events. This one you can get with play CPU, extra innings, and conquest. These are all online ones, so these aren't things that you can do unless you're playing on online modes like ranked, battle royale, or events. Then every single one has the players that you can get along the way. You'll have to read these and see what you could do with them, and then just make sure you knock them out in the where to play. Now, going over the defeat Baltimore, defeat all of these guys on All-Star, you can get an extra 5 points for beating them. Versus the CPU, just make sure the difficulty is All-Star or higher, otherwise you will not be able to get those. So let's take a look at the next thing, and that's the moments. The moments I would suggest kind of doing first, getting them knocked out. They're usually pretty easy to do, and there's something that you could just knock out pretty quick, and you get the free affinity points. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 Team Affinity points. This is something you could probably knock out in 15, 20 minutes. So some easy Team Affinity points. Then you're going to have the conquest map, and all of these conquest maps will be different, but if you knock them out, boom, easy 45 Team Affinity points there. And while you're doing that, you can get a bunch of these missions done for repeatable plate appearances and stuff as well, because that goes into the conquest. Next one is March to October. I would not suggest doing this unless you already have a March to October started, because this takes you a while. It takes you about like an hour to 2 to 3 hours to complete a March to October, and you really don't get that many Team Affinity points. So like just doing it on veteran, which actually is kind of difficult, you get 54 points, but this is going to take you like 8 hours of gameplay to get all the way through to the World Series. And that's even saying if you win the World Series. If you don't win the World Series, you drop off quite a bit. You kind of lose points along the way. So not the best way of getting Team Affinity points. Collections are a great way to get it. If you can get these, obviously go in here, look at what you can do. We can auto select, boom, we got 40. So just like that, we can collect them, boom, collected it. We should get how many points from the collection here? 10 team affinity points for collecting that. Let's go up here and look, and there it is, 10 team affinity points. Then we got the exchanges, and my suggestion would be is the exchanges are going to be very important, but they're going to be hard to do now because you probably don't have the players ready to be able to kind of knock these out. But I will go over that here in a second. First, let's go over exactly what you're going to get along the way. You're going to get unlockables for the division you're in. You're going to get uniforms. You're going to get team affinity packs, which are just kind of random on the pack. Sometimes you get some pretty good cards in here. Again, uniforms, Ball is a habit pack, uniforms, team affinity packs, all that good stuff. Stubs here, you get the AL East 3 packs for their team affinity packs. We're getting 5 of them, and then we get at 60, 90, 110, 130, and 150 team affinity points. You're gonna unlock a player in that division, and you're gonna unlock all 5 of them if you get all the way up to 150. Keep in mind, do not be careful of who you select, because if you select a player that you've already had, you cannot go back and redo it. So you will not get all 5. None of these are sellable. So don't think, oh, I just need whoever, whatever. You can't sell these. So just make sure you get who you want first and go on from there, and make sure you get all 5. So be careful when you're selecting that you're selecting someone that you have not already selected. And looking at the choice pack here, some pretty good cards, a lot of them 99s. I think almost all of them are 99s, a 97 there from David Price. But going here, select who you want, select who you need on your team, select people if you need a future stars guy here to complete the collection for Kershaw. Adley Rutschman would be a perfect one. Wade Boggs in here, Mickey Mantle, all of these guys are 99s and very good players, and we're kind of getting to the point in MLB where it's going to be complete God squads. Every 99 you could possibly get is going to be on your team. Same thing, you're going to get some headliners packs, more stubs, another choice. So if you selected Adley Rutschman, the first one, then go Wade Boggs here or whoever else. Ball is a habit packs, you're going to get another AL and then a home run derby pack as well. So another easy way to get some home run cards. And that's how we're going to do it. That's how you're going to get all 150 team affinity points. If you're wondering how to do it the quickest way possible, my suggestion, honestly, is to do the exchanges first. Now, some of you will not have the exchanges. I try to say, if you've watched my last video, you know I told you to go out and get some of these exchanges. If you did so, congratulations, you'll be able to knock these out quick. I always knock these out because look at this. You get 5, 15, 30, 60 team affinity from just knocking these out. So you can just start with 60 right away. You could start all the way up to a choice pack and choose a player by just knocking those out. And they're pretty easy to do. Each of them have individual points. So this one's 25k. The next one, or let's go to the bottom and see what the bottom one is. It's 150k. And those are the exchange points. And if you listen to my last video, and I'm going to tell you in this video, the week before the team affinity comes out, go out and get players that are about a 78 overall. You get a really good exchange value for 78. You can usually buy them for about 200 stubs each, and they go a long way. And to kind of show you that, you're going to go to a 78 here like Joey Wendell. You're going to get 3,700 points, and you're only going to pay, I don't know what he is now. You could buy him for 189. So you're going to basically buy them for 200. You're going to buy a ton of them. And then like this, see, I got 35 of the Trey Mancinis, and then it's easy to go. All you go is here, say you want 9. All right, say we want 22 of them. Okay, let's say we want all 35 of them. So we're almost there to knocking this one out, and you spend about minimal compared to what you normally would. You're going to kind of do that with the same thing. There's a few that you kind of don't want to because they're kind of expensive. 78s and 74s, I feel like you get the best value for what you pay for. So for like a 74, I think you can get as low as 25 stubs for them, and they go for 1,500. So 3,000 will net you about 50 stubs off of that. And if you go up here, 3,700 is going to net you about 200 stubs. So you can either do 74s and do a ton of them, or you can do 78s and do a ton of them. But that's the fastest way of trying to get it. And if you could do the exchanges first and knock those out, that would be my suggestion first. The next thing I would go over is the collections. Again, most of them, if you're collecting along the way, are going to be pretty easy to knock out. I knocked this one out pretty easy, 40 of 40 there on the exchanges. So just like that, I would be up to 70 points by just doing the exchanges and the collections. Then the next thing I would do is knock out the moments. Each moment is worth 3. You can knock them all out, all 5 of them out. That's another 15, so that's going to set you up to about 85 team affinity. Then after that, make sure you take a look at the missions, because these are going to be important, because these you can do over and over again. So like the plate appearances, the total bases with the flashbacks and legends, the strikeouts with flashbacks and legends. You could do these over and over again in Conquest. And the reason I say in Conquest is because you can knock out this Conquest map for 45 team affinity points, and that is a ton of points. So if we were at 85, you knock out this 45, that goes to 90, 130 team affinity points by just knocking those out, which gets you 20 from the last player you can select. And then just to knock out those 20, if you do this one twice, boom, there it is, you got your 20 points. If you do total bases or Ks, that's 5, 10, and then 20 with the plate appearances. So many easy ways of knocking all of these out and getting every single card. So again, my suggestion would be to knock out these exchanges here if you can. If you have not, then it's okay. Make sure you knock out the collections. Make sure you knock out the moments for 15. Then hit the Conquest map while trying to hit the missions along the way. And then if you need any extras, quick, just go here and do the showdown. Some of the showdown vouchers, I like to do the showdown vouchers at least once with each division, because I want to see what players are good and who I should be selecting. And I could do a whole nother episode on what team affinity players you kind of want to select early on. But basically just going through here and playing with them, you can decide, oh, I really like this guy, I want to go after Adley Rutschman first, or whoever you're enjoying playing with. That's how you do it. And that's the fastest way to doing it. You can get it done. Honestly, you can get all these done in a day if you play nonstop. I'm not going to play nonstop. I knocked out Season 3 all in one day. This one will probably take me a week or so, because I'm just not playing MLB as much as I once was. These are definitely easy ways of getting cards. And then again, by selecting these cards, you can lock them into like the Kershaw or the Mookie Betts program if you want those cards as well. And it's going to be the same thing for each and every one of these: the AL East, AL Central, AL West, NL Central, and the NL East. Just make sure you go through and knock them out, and then you will have all of Season 4 completely done. If you play a lot, probably within a week, you'll be able to knock all of these out pretty easy. If you have any questions, make sure you comment those down below. I'd love to answer them. I love the questions you guys ask. It kind of makes you think. It makes me think of other ways to do things, but this is the quickest way to do it currently. If you have any questions, comment them down below. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit that red subscribe button so that you don't miss the rest of the MLB The Show content. We are closing down on kind of the content because MLB postseason is coming, so there'll be a ton of content then. And so there's not a lot of content left. So if you're kind of struggling to keep up with things, or if you're ready to make your 99 God Squad, this would be a good place to do it. And I will see you guys on the next one. Slacker out.